Hello everybody, Jade Hamilton here again, and today I'm going to read to you a little bit more from my story Girls and Boys Come Out to Play, about Sienna and her big brother Taylor and their little brother Benji and their mum and their dad, who's got an addiction to gambling. And at the moment Dad is in rehab in a seaside town in the middle of nowhere, and it's not really working out that well for him. And in this particular section, Sienna and Benji have come for a visit, and Dad is suggesting that they run away. Dad got up and made purposely for the door. You know what? Sod this for a game of soldiers. Let's get out of here. Benji grinned and ran after Dad, both of them overjoyed at just the idea of being free of the place. But Sienna felt her body tense as she remembered rule number 1, the thing Mum had drummed into them about 6 million times before they left. You're not allowed out of the grounds. Are you? Dad looked deflated for 5 seconds, but covered it with a shrug and a cheeky grin. I'm sure I can swing it for us. Use the old charm. Sienna gave her plait a nervous tug. She wasn't sure she wanted it swung. If staying inside the centre was important to Dad's recovery, he really shouldn't be breaking the rules. It wasn't a game. She'd never thought about it before, but now she remembered all those lessons in citizenship about addiction, about how, in the beginning, any addict will swear blind to anyone who'll listen that they haven't got a problem. And even if they have, it's cool because they can stop any time they want. Miss Goodall always smirked at that bit. Of course, in citizenship, the addictions they talked about were the obvious ones. If Hardy Jackson and co bothered to turn up, they usually made a few moronic jokes about sex addiction, but that was about it. Drugs and booze were the ones people wanted to know about anyway. The ones that were glamorous because they were deadly. Nobody ever died because they couldn't pay for things. Not directly. That's why Dad could carry on it. Like being at the centre was no big deal. He wasn't underweight or turning yellow, shaking all over or throwing up. So as far as he was concerned, there was nothing wrong. He was fine. It was like that expression characters used on American TV shows. How did it go now? Oh yeah, the Nile is not a river in Egypt. Can we have an ice cream, Dad? Benji pleaded as soon as they got out the door and through the gates. No searchlights, no guards, no screechy alarms to make them turn back the way they came. Worse luck. Please? Of course we will. In a minute. They went to an ice cream parlour that served all kinds of bizarre flavours. They sat on violently pink leather stools, drinking pop, eating pina colada and brown bread ice cream with sprinkles and chatting, pretending it was just a normal day out. Only Sienna had to pay for everything because Dad wasn't allowed any money. Being out together as a family actually felt pretty good. For a while, anyway. Dad groaned and got up from his chair. Well, I am well and truly stuffed. So, what do you want to do now? Both of them just grinned and shrugged, feeling warm and happy. Fancy a go on. There it was, that weird premonition thing again. She knew exactly what Dad was going to say before he actually said it. The arcade games. Benji beamed. Yeah? Sienna's feet squelched on sodden carpet, her jeans slurping up spilled drinks greedily. She was expecting it to be busy, but this was like sensory overload. She was hemmed in on 3 sides by flashing lights, and her ears rang with beeps, bloops, pings and fake explosions. She was out of it that when Benji came over to ask for something, she didn't hear at first. I had to tug at her sleeve. She shivered like someone woken up from a long sleep. What's the matter? I need £1 to play this racing game. I asked Dad first, but he said you were the one with the money, so I should ask you. Sienna unzipped her mum bag, handed Benji a £1 coin, and scanned the room quickly. It was really hard to tell who was who from behind. Where is Dad, anyway? He was playing on those. Benji waved a skinny arm at a bank of fruit machines. I gave him 50p. 50p? Oh, Benji, you idiot! Sienna grabbed her little brother by the shoulders. Mum told you and told you. You mustn't give Dad any money. And what did you go and do? Stop it! You're hurting! Let me go! Benji was wriggling like fury, on the verge of either crying or screaming the place down. It was hard to tell. His eyes and nose streamed onto his Bart Simpson t-shirt. I didn't mean to. His voice was pleading. The last thing they needed was a scene. All those rheumy-eyed gamblers having a gorp. Then again, they probably wouldn't care. They needed to get out of here. Now. It's okay, Benji. I didn't mean it either. I was just having a Mumzilla moment. It's alright. Sienna tried to soothe her brother, marvelling at how rubbish she was at it. Mum was always going on about how nobody taught you to be a parent. Kids didn't come with a manual. And that was true. But nobody ever taught you how to be a sister either. Or a daughter, come to that. Sienna patrolled the fruit machines looking for Dad. He was engrossed, sweat soaking his favourite green t-shirt. She came up, not quite beside and not quite behind him, and kissed his cheek. It was prickly, hedgehogged with stubble. We're going now, Dad. Daddy? He looked up, but only briefly, eyes glued to the spinning rainbows of the machine. She didn't know where he got the money to play this long. He must have got a sub off someone. See you soon, Dad. Love you very, very much. And Benji does too. Stay out of trouble, okay?